Okay, fine.
En één keer op de vasta. Ik kan het van mij wel komen met. Ja. Hallo. Hello, can you hear me? Okay. Hi, can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me? Hello? Okay, good. Hello, can you hear me? Hello. Hello, can you hear me? Hello. 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 Ah. Hello, Talia. Hi, Chan. Chantal. Great. Hi, Talia. Can you hear me? Hello, Talia. Hello, Talia. Hi, Talia. Hello, Chantal. Talia, can you hear me? I see you connecting to audio.
Hello, everybody.
Ah, who can hear me? Chantal.
Yes, it's me.
Hello, Chantal. You can put your video on, my dear, if you don't mind. Okay. Alrighty, and then let's see here. What's to Annie? Hello, Chantal. Hi. Can you hear me, my?
Yes, I can.
Yes, I can. I can also hear you.
Wonderful. Okay. Just concentrate on it. I see you guys are on your phones. You people are on the phone. just to make double sure that you just keep your phone steady or anchor it somewhere. Otherwise, it will make go like this on the screen, you know? So just
Yeah.
I can put it that way. But you can hear me clearly.
Yes.
Oh, that's fantastic. Let me just change this for Danny. The moderator is called Danny, and he will join us. Okay. Victoria, you found your spot.
Yeah, I'm trying to
Yeah,
arrange myself properly.
Okay.
Just to balance myself.
Better. Sure. No worries. No worries. Gonna see that. Okay, just like this. Mobile, control, fine. Okay. Hello, Sandile. Hello, Sandile. Hi, Sandile. Hello. Hello, Sandile. Hello, Sandile. Very sweetness. Let me just see if I can call some of the delegates. Mama. This lady. Hello, Sandile.
Hello, hello.
How are you?
Sorry, I'm fine, thanks. And you, ma'am?
I can't complain, my dear. You can call me Adele.
Yes, okay, Adele.
So you found your spot. Now
Yes.
and to the rest of the ladies. You
Okay.
find your spot, and then if you're on your cell phone, just like to keep it like steady. Otherwise, it will go like that the whole time.
Okay.
You can
So I
anchor.
must touch it like this. Okay.
That's beautiful. Yes.
Okay.
You're able to see the rest of the ladies as well.
Yes, I see
Yeah.
Heala. Yes.
You will be able to communicate and tell
Okay.
what, no worries.
Okay.
Who is this? Off the start video. The lady is on Huawei. Somebody with a Huawei smartphone. Wait. Let me see. I think it must be on this one. Let me just call the rest. There's another lady. Okay. Yeah, I see. So it's very important that one tests the technical things beforehand.
Okay.
So
Okay.
otherwise, in the middle of a meeting and then you go off and all of that.
Okay.
Hello. Who's Zozo? If I pronounce it.
Hi.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, I've been trying to log in on Zoom. Sorry.
Hi, what is your name? Sweetness.
Yes.
Oh, Sweetness. You have
Yes, I'm Sweetness.
Ah, fantastic. Sweetness, you must just keep your screen steady, please, my dear. Like anchor your cell phone, like otherwise it will go like this all the time. So find your nice spot, and then from there on you can just, that they can see you clearly. So you can
Okay, so I can put it straight.
Yes, yes. Just at your place, no worries.
Okay.
Who is Zozo? Let's just see. I'm just going to rename you, and we can say they can call you Sweetness. Correct. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, they can call you Sweetness. Correct. That's your name. Okay. Who's Zozo? Is it Shanique? Hello, Zozo. Almost there. Is it Zoe? Hello, Zoe. Ah, Shanique. Hello, Zoe. Can you hear me, Zoe? I think it's and Susan. So can you hear me? So is it raining in Kachang?
Yes, it is.
Good. Yeah, but us as well. It's been drizzling all the last few days, and today it was the sun was shining, and then all of a sudden it started raining again.
Okay.
Okay, let me just see. Okay, Tolia, just go. I'm just going to go. The sweetness, you're fine, my dear. You can hear me. You can hear me clearly.
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yes, and we can see you clearly as well. You can move a little bit to the back.
Yes, Danny.
Then I can tell you that you in the you can move a little bit to the back. Then we can see your face clearly. Yeah. Now you can move a little bit to the back. Yes, that's beautiful. Perfect. Perfect. Are you comfortable? Okay. Let's see. We're almost there. Donna, you also okay?
Yeah, I'm good. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly. Thank you so much for being on time, ladies. I'm just going to let's just see Chantal. Hello, Chantal. Okay, we're almost there. Yes, almost there, almost there. It must be Zoe. Hello, Zoe. Okay. Hi. Hello, Zoe. Can you hear me? You can't hear. Okay, I'm going to give you a call. Okay, I'm going to give you a call quickly. Hello, Shanique. Hi, Shanique. Can you hear me?
Hi,
Hello, Shanique.
I'm good, and you?
Finally.
Hi.
Oh, so you can hear me. Okay, Zoe, I'm going to give you a call, Zoe. Okay. All right, let me just see quickly.
Okay.
Thank you, ladies. We'll start soon.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Also to make double sure that you are in, also to make double sure that you're in a quiet place, okay? Thanks. With no disturbances. Thank you so much. Hello. Hi, Zoe. Is this can you hear me? Okay. So what I would suggest is you go completely. That was been completely, you know, okay? And then you log out, then you go into the WhatsApp. Then you must connect with audio. It's going to prompt you to connect with audio. It goes completely out of the application, then you go to the WhatsApp, and that message the WhatsApp message I sent you, and you double click on that Zoom application. Then it's going to turn and turn and turn and turn. Then at one stage it's going to ask you to connect with audio. So you say yes. Okay. Okay, I will let you in again. No worries. Do that, and then I will admit you. Completely out, both applications, okay? Thank you. Yes, I will redo it completely, redo it from scratch, completely out of this, and then you just go into it exactly, and then I'll let you in from scratch, but connect with all that. Okay, thank you. All righty. So, ladies, thank you so much for being here. We're just waiting on one more candidate, Zoe.
Okay.
And she just wants, here she is. Let's just see here. We admit Zoe. Okay. And then I'll hand you over to our moderator, Danny. Okay. She is connecting to audio. That's fantastic. Can you hear me now? Yes,
I can now.
Can you? Oh, beautiful. That's lovely. Okay, so can we call you, I see it's Mark Zozo, but can we call you Zoe?
Yes, that's fine.
Oh, thank you so much. Alrighty. Right, ladies. I'm going to thank you for joining this meeting. I'm going to hand you now over to Danny, and we will start officially. Okay.
Okay.
Enjoy the session, and thank you for
Okay.
being on time. We really appreciate it.
Okay. Thank you, Adele.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Our moderator is on his way. Thank you so much for your patience.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you. Just to make double sure as well that you eliminate all background noises, okay? You know,
Okay.
I can a quiet place. And sweetness, you can move a little bit to the back, and we can see your whole face.
Okay. Okay.
Perfect.
Okay.
That's wonderful. Thank you. Okay. And Shanique, did you see her? And I'm just going to ask you to start your video, Shanique. Thank you so much.
And very festive, I think.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Danny.
How are you guys?
We fine. Thanks, and yourself?
I'm very well. Thank you very much for being able to join me this afternoon
Okay.
for the session. I'm going to take the opportunity to tell you what we're going to do as a team
Okay.
for the next hour and a
Okay.
half to 2 hours, depending on the conversation.
Okay.
First of all, I just want to thank you for your time and tell you that I'm an independent moderator that facilitates these groups. So
Okay.
I have no invested interest in the insights. So what I mean with that is what's important for us is that you all understand that your responses are your views, your
Yes.
opinions, and they're true to self. So
Okay.
we didn't invite you all here to have a group consensus and we have to agree on everything before we move on. No, these
Okay.
are your individual views that will be related in this forum. Obviously, we're respectful of each other's differences, and
Yes.
that's why I say in research, the nice thing about research is there's no right and wrong answer. It's your views and your opinions. We do record the sessions just so that I don't have to sit here and make notes and write the whole time. Otherwise, we'll be here for hours.
Okay.
But also to know that the insights that is gathered here today gets given to the client, but without your names, surnames, and details. So that remains confidential. But client does take the final report that and the insight that is gathered from all the groups that we do, and they may use it for things like writing in medical journals or writing in strategy documents or planning material, some of the insights that they gather here. So we just want you to know that this is a strategic project for us. It is able to, we want to make a difference. And as we get to discuss dietary and unhealthy foods and unhealthy
Mhm.
drinks in our lives, you will clearly get a picture of what our client's objective is to kind of like achieve in the study. For the purposes of the recording, So some of the house rules. So these are the house rules. Let's get the house rules out the way. Because we're online, and I normally do this around a boardroom table, what's going to work best for me online is that if someone is talking, that when you want to say something and you'd like to grab my attention, just raise your hand or wave across the screen. In that way, I know that you want to say something, and I will acknowledge and I will move to you in that moment. So that's important. When you are all on mute, if I ask you a question and I'm basically looking at you all, you guys can just give me a thumbs up, and then I know that everybody can see and hear and things like that. If for whatever reason, because this is in our personal spaces that this research is happening, so in our personal space, we sometimes disturbed by external factors, kids running in, background noises. Please just
Yes.
in that moment, just mute yourself. If it needs to, deal with the situation, and then we'll continue with the discussion, but just mute yourself if something now does happen that is unforeseen. So with that said, those are the house rules.
Okay.
We can start, and I normally would like to start us off with introduction. So this is how we're going to do the introduction. I want you to tell me your name. Are you married with children? What do you do for fun? And then I'm going to start off by asking you the first question. And the first question is, what drives your choices when it comes to buying the foods and drinks that you buy for yourself or for your family? What influences and drives your choice in the selections of foods and drinks that you do for your family? I always start when I do these online groups with whoever is on my far left. Andile, you are on my far left. So I'm gonna start with you to do the introduction. Then we're gonna
Okay.
go to everybody and start the group. So Sandile, you can kick us off.
Okay. Hello, guys. My name is Zandile, and my surname is Ngoma. I'm 29 years old, and I live in Cape Town in Guguletu Township called Guguletu. I have a 9-year-old boy who is doing grade 3 this year. What I actually do for fun, I always stay with my sisters because we are 4 by my father's side, and by my mom's side, we 2. So we usually hang out. We go out to the restaurants, or either like JC Leroux House or Polka Dry Farm, or we go out to Skoma. Um, I'm just a bubbly person. What else?
Okay, so now the question that you've got to answer is, what drives your choices in the foods and drinks that you buy for yourself or for your family?
For myself and for my family. I think for me, I love like fast food because I'm lazy when it comes to cooking. I don't want to lie. That's not my phase. That's not my phase. So I prefer buying something that's quick. So apart from my family, my aunt is the one that usually cooks all the time, but I'm the one influencing her to go and buy potato chips or fish and chips or burger.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Thanks for the introduction. I'm gonna come to the sweetness. Sweetness.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Hello. Please,
Hello.
we can hear you.
My name is
Will
Sweetness.
you,
My
will
surname
you
is
introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Sweetness, and my surname is Makobolo.
Okay, so Sweetness, are you married
Can
with
you hear me?
children? Yes, we can hear you. So the question is,
No, I'm not married. I'm single. I'm 25 years of old. I have an 8-year daughter.
okay, so what influences your choice in the foods and drinks that you buy?
Yeah. Also don't like to cook, and I'm staying only with my daughter.
Okay. Okay.
So I
Is it
like to
Talia?
eat like fast.
Fast food. Okay, I'm gonna go to
Yes.
Talia if I'm pronouncing it correct. Talia, is that correct? Miss Frost?
Yes.
How
Hi,
do,
that's me.
how,
Talia.
how do I pronounce your name?
Talia.
Talia. Okay. Hi,
Yep.
Talia. Could you introduce
Hi.
yourself?
Sorry about that. My name's Talia. I'm 23 and I just finished my honors program. My main, like, what drives me to buy food is probably like consistency and knowing that I'm going to get the same, or at least like the similar product. And then price as well, because like as a student, I don't really have the expendable cash to just.
Okay. Okay, Zoe, if I can come to you.
Hello, my name is Zoe. I'm single, no children. I live with my mom. I think what drives us in food choice is also that if it's been a busy day, we would do takeaways to cut time, and because it's convenient and it makes everyone happy, nobody's on the not eating fast food. So yes.
Okay, okay. Thank you very much. Chantal?
Hi. So my name is Chantal Fortune. I'm 29. I'm from Mitchell's Plain in Cape Town. No children, not married. Fun, I don't know what that is anymore, but me and my cousins, we do spend a lot of time together, and we are fond of trying new places like Zandile. So we like to try the wine states, and we like to try those things on a good payment and no other expenses. But yeah, what drives my choices in types of fast food? So of course, it's always convenience is the winner, but I think what drives our choices is value for money. So we tend towards restaurants where you can kind of get 2 for 1, or you can refill your drinks all the time, or you can upsize for an extra 2 or 3 rand. So we tend to go for restaurants, where you can kind of get a lot to feed a lot.
Okay, okay. Now, very, very, very interesting. And we'll come back to this topic in a little bit more detail later on. It was just basically for you to have the feel of being put on the spot and being asked questions and hearing yourself, really answering these questions. So what we're going to do specifically today is that we're going to look at I have one more person to introduce themselves. We keep losing each other. I just want to see if is back now. Is it Shanique?
Yes,
Hi,
hello. Can you hear
Shanique,
me?
we keep losing each other. Hopefully your
I know,
net
I'm so
is
sorry.
no. Hopefully the network will be fine. Will you do me the honors to just introduce yourself? Did you hear the introductions and the questions, Shanique? Okay.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Right. Hi, everyone. My name is Shanique, and my surname is Johnstone. I am 22 years old, and I live in Cape Town. I have one daughter. She is 4 years of age. Well, the thing that I like to do the most for fun is probably sit and watch series on Netflix or go out with friends or family.
Okay, okay. And Shanique, to the question, what influences your choice of food and drinks that you buy for either yourself and for your family? What are those things that you would mention and highlight?
Okay, well, I think personally, my answer would be finances influence a lot on what kind of foods to buy. And also, I guess everybody's own opinion on what foods they like. So, if for the people in my household, I will not purposely get something that they don't like, yeah.
Okay. Okay. And as I said, we'll be discussing some of these things in a little bit more detail. But one of the things that we are going to look at is television advertising. So our client has a campaign that they'd like to give life to with a certain objective. When you see the material that we're going to discuss, you will get an idea of what that campaign is trying to do, and we will discuss the pros and cons, what works, what doesn't work, what can be improved, can't be improved, and those kind of things. But for one thing that I want you to do is I want you to think of any ad that you know that's playing on television or that's played on television that you absolutely love, that you absolutely love. Now, if you think of that ad, I can promise you 9 out of 10 times, or all 10 times, that ad started as a storyboard. It started on a piece of paper with some creative director having an idea of how to put this ad together. What's the message they wanted to communicate and who they were intending that message for. Today, our research is no different, that we're going to be looking at a storyboard concept. So you're going to see drawings that look like cartoons, but that's not going to be the final product that's going to be on television. Once we have crafted the message, once we have crafted the creative idea, it will be real people, real music, real sound, real voices. It will be a real ad. So the purposes of today is to fine tune what works and what doesn't work. We have two concepts to evaluate during this process. Now, because we are independent on technology, it is important that we are able to see and hear the ads that I need to play to you, because we'll basically do this in threefold. One is we'll watch the ad, and I'll always play the test ad, the research ads, I will play twice. You will then evaluate the ads where you are, and I'll tell you how we're going to do that evaluation on your screens and on the devices you are using. Then we will have a short discussion about the ad that you've seen. And that's the process. We see an ad, we evaluate the ad, we discuss the ad, we move on, we conclude. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go through a test material to just check your network and your technology. So it's very important that you acknowledge to me that, you know, I can see the ad and I can hear the ad. So I'm going to share my screen with you. Those of you that are using mobile phones and laptops, please make sure that you see and hear the ad. I'm about to share my screen now so that you can just acknowledge and, okay. So can I just get, Chantal, can you just confirm if you can see this on your screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so it should be a blank screen, dark screen right now. We're going to show, I'm going to play the test ad. It's called Wildlife in HD. And here goes. So I'm playing it right now. Okay, so if you are able to see that, that would be like the first part of what we need to do. The second part is actually doing an evaluation. How that evaluation is done is in the following manner. So if I launch a survey from my side, you should on your screen see a list of questions. Questions that you are able to complete on your end by going to the question and selecting the appropriate answer. So based on the ad that you've seen, the question says, is the ad easy to understand? There's a 5-point scale from strongly disagree to strongly agree. You select the answer applicable to the question and then move on next to the next question. So is the ad easy to understand? You answer. Then you move to the next one. Is the ad relevant to you? You answer, select the appropriate answer, move to the next question. Did the ad teach you something new? You answer the selected one. And then the last question would be, would this ad make you likely to talk to someone else about it? Once you have all submitted your answers, I basically just need an indication through a thumbs up that you have submitted. So thank you, Shanique. Thank you, Talia. And when you're done, you can just give me a, Chantel, you finished? Thank you, Chantel. Zoe, done. We're just waiting for Sweetness and Zandile. The reason why I need confirmation that everybody's completed their survey is because if I stop the survey, thank you, Zandile. If I stop the survey from my side, then it goes away on your end, and then you're not able to complete all your answers. So I do need to wait until everybody has literally acknowledged that they have been able to submit. So Sweetness, have you been able to answer all the all 4 questions?
Not yet.
Not
Just
yet?
gonna answer only one.
Okay, so just let me know when you are completed.
Yes, yes, yes.
Have you been able to submit, Sweetness?
Yes.
Okay, so then I can end it from my side. Okay, so thank you very much for completing. That's basically the technical side. So if you're able to see it, hear it, and complete the survey, that is the technical side that we do. So what we're going to do now is that we are going to do the first test ad. I'm going to share my screen again, show you the screen. Remember, it's a cartoon format. You just have to sit back, watch, listen, read what the ad is about, what happens in the ad. I'm going to play the ad twice before we do the evaluation. So sharing my screen right now with you, and then playing the ad for you. Can I just get a confirmation? Can you see it on your side?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So here I'm playing it for you.
If you know us here, you know we like to get to the truth. Everybody knows more and more of our children are becoming overweight. But why? And why are so many of our brothers and sisters dying from conditions like diabetes and heart disease? But the real question is, why does the unhealthy food industry hide what it puts in our food? And exactly what is the impact of these high amounts of sugar, salt, and fat? What exactly are you hiding? Fulwazi, Baba.
That is the first one. Now I will play the ad for a second time. Please just watch.
If you know us here, you know we like to get to the truth. Everybody knows more and more of our children are becoming overweight. But why? And why are so many of our brothers and sisters dying from conditions like diabetes and heart disease? But the real question is, why does the unhealthy food industry hide what it puts in our food? And exactly what is the impact of these high amounts of sugar, salt, and fat? What exactly are you hiding? Fulwazi, Baba.
Okay. Did everyone, oh, Shanique went out. Okay, let me see if Shanique is back. I just have to now, because otherwise if Shanique didn't see the ad, it might make it difficult for her to evaluate the ad. I must just check if she was able to see it. Shanique? Shanique?
Yes, I'm back.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Did you see the ad?
Hear me?
Did you see the ad that I played? Okay, I think there's something wrong with Shanique's network connection.
Yes, I can.
Okay, so Shanique, did you see the ad that I played?
Yes.
I'm talking about the cartoon one, not the first one. Shanique? Okay, I think technology is a problem there. I'm going to do that. Okay, so guys, for the benefit of us to continue, I'll just let the team know that they must just call Shanique. I'm going to set up the first poll. So what the poll is, it's 12 questions that we need to answer for the survey. So I've launched it on my side, and if you can please start filling in the questionnaire. It says, was the ad easy to understand? Is the ad believable? And then you can go through each of them there. So question 2 was, is it believable? Question 3 says, is the ad relevant to you? You mark the appropriate answer. Did the ad teach you something new? Question 5, will this ad make you to stop and think? Question 6, will this ad be likely that you would talk to someone else about it? Question 7, will this ad make you motivated to have less unhealthy foods and sugary drinks? Question 8, will this ad increase your support for warning labels on the front of food and drinks packages that identify when that food and drink is unhealthy? Question 9, will this ad motivate you to seek more information about what is in the food you eat? And question 10, will this ad increase, thank you very much, Talia, increase your support for government action to reduce consumption of unhealthy foods and sugary drinks? Once everybody has completed, you can just give me an indication. Talia has already completed. Zoe, you're done. Chantal, you're done. Chantal's done. And then we're just waiting for Zandile and Sweetness to give us an indication. Then we will carry on with the last 2 questions. Okay, thank you, Zandile. I'm just waiting for Sweetness, and then we will do the last 2 questions. Sweetness, are you done?
Yes, Danny.
Thank you very much. I will just put up the last 2 questions for us. So the last 2 questions reads as follows. Will this ad motivate you to take action like signing a petition or sharing a message on social media to call on government to require companies to display clear front of package warnings on unhealthy foods? And then the last question is this an effective ad on front of package labeling on the harms of sugary drinks and unhealthy foods? If you answer those last ones, when you are ready to submit, you can just let me know. Thank you, Talia. Thanks, Ndile. Okay. Zoe, thank you very much. Sweetness, are you still busy? Are you done?
Yes, Danny?
Okay, thank you. Chantal, you done, hey?
Yes, I'm done.
Okay, so then I can end the poll. Thank you guys very much. That's the technical stuff behind us. Now the informal discussion happens. So, to start off the discussion, Chantal, if I had to pick on you and to start us off, I would ask you the question, if you had to describe that ad in 1 or 2 words, what word or words would you use?
Informative, thought-provoking.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that the guy was kind of speaking in the background, which kind of I didn't have to yeah, it was nice to hear him say it because it kind of just registers when you hear someone say it, or for me at least personally. So I didn't have to kind of figure it out all with the actual ad. But yeah, just his words were very thought-provoking, and seeing the big the headlines on the TV and the headlines in the newspaper, yeah, just kind of had me thinking. Yeah.
Okay. Talia, for you, any 1 word, 2 words that would basically describe any sentiment towards the advert? Talia? Okay, I think we may have. Hi, Talia.
Hi, I am back. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. Did you hear the question, Talia?
I did not. My Wi-Fi went down, so if you can just give me a second.
Okay. So let me go to one of the other participants. I'm going to come back to you now while you're setting yourself up. Zandile, for you, a word or 2 in terms of describing the ad that you saw?
For my point of view, it's a bit challenging because it is gonna have a disadvantage at some point. On the other hand, I love the fact that this guy is being like they're expressive according to things that they basically don't know that are happening behind those places that are actually making food.
Okay.
But on the other hand, it is good.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Zoe, for you, anything that comes to mind in terms of a word or 2 to describe what you thought or any thoughts towards the ad?
I would say that it's informative and eye-opening because the way he portrays it and with everything in the background that links to the advert itself, showing that we don't take labels like that seriously, or we don't look for things like that, because when we're shopping, it's convenience or just grabbing something that we can make quickly or whatever, but we're not looking at what we're actually putting in our bodies. And the way he portrayed it with everything in the background and in the newspaper, it's like he's bringing the message across, like, why aren't we seeing the things we're supposed to be seeing and where we're supposed to be seeing it as well?
Okay. Sweetness, for you, is there a word or 2 that you would describe? I think we just lost Sweetness. Now I'm going to go to Talia. Talia, is there a word or 2 that you would describe in terms of the ad itself?
So I'd probably describe it as relevant, because it is something that needs to be spoken about more, is the general health of our population. And yeah, interesting.
Interesting.
Just because it's not something that's really pointed out quite often. It's interesting to have it mentioned and have something to think about.
Okay, and we're going to come back, I think, to that in a little detail as well. Sweetness, for you, any words that you have to describe the ad that you've seen?
In my point of view, I think the
We are listening.
Hi.
Yes, we're listening to your answer.
Yes, Danny?
We are listening.
Yes, in my point of view, in my point of view, I think the ad is trying to warning us how dangerous of eating unhealthy food.
Okay. Okay. So,
Because I can, yes.
okay. So if I had to ask yourself, Zandile, if I started off with you, is the ad, and it's a twofold question. One is the ad easy to understand? But at the same time, what is the main message that this ad is trying to communicate? What is the main message that you take out of this ad?
It's actually giving me perspective, like for me to be aware, not to just grab something, to check like the expiry date and be sure like this is, I mean, this thing is right for me, actually. Yeah. So on my point of view, I would say it's just giving me perspective
Okay.
to be aware. Yeah.
Zoe, for you, what is the main message you take out, and is the ad easy to understand?
I would say that the ad is easy to understand, and the message that I take out from the ad is that we need to start asking the proper questions and not going for what is easy, and yeah, stop taking the easy way out.
Okay. Chantel, for you, what do you think is that main message that the ad is communicating?
Yeah, I would think that again, choices in food is something that needs to be considered. There is our country is moving in a direction of diabetes and high heart conditions. So the message is healthier choices, or at least questioning or checking if you're going to go convenient way. If ever there's such a thing like a healthier option of a convenient way, maybe just looking at the right things before deciding on taking that thing. Is it easy to understand? I thought it was. Like I said, there was those important things that popped out on the TV, on the cereal box, on the newspaper. The cartoon is a bit distracting though because it's kind of slow motion. I don't know if that's what the ad's going to be, but I mean, there was enough to kind of stand out to make you realize what the ad was about.
Okay. And Sally, if I come to you and I say to you, you know, with every ad that is made, someone has in mind who the ad is intended for. So, and that's normally that target market that the ad is going after. Who would you identify based on the ad as the intended target market for this ad?
Sorry, me.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. So the intended target market, in my opinion, would be people who are doing the shopping. So you're looking at more stay-at-home moms or mothers or women. And then you're looking at like probably above the age of 25, I would say, because below the age of 25, people are quite, at least in my opinion, are quite a lot more aware of what's in food and where food comes from, considering the amount of like people I know who are vegan or who don't eat certain foods because of the sugar content.
Okay. Chantal, for you, the target market that this ad would possibly be going after?
I think I agree with Talia on the age group. So again, you're looking at the moms or not even moms, that's so gender based, but parents who are doing the shopping, that are kind of instilling these patterns or things in their children. I think it's kind of linked at them. Because I think for them it's probably the convenience of it because there's children and work and so quick and easy, and maybe they need to do a rethink of that. And then I think your 25 to maybe 30 who doesn't have those things like a partner or children that are just quick to work 12-hour shifts and quickly grab something for lunch or quickly grab something for dinner, which is not always a healthier option. So yeah, I think I agree with Taylor on that, with regards to the age group and the type.
And to that point, Chantal, if I can just come back to you, do you think this ad speaks to you as an individual personally?
Yes, I unfortunately fall into all of those the bracket of 25 and the quick and easy and convenient. So yeah, it definitely does. It does appeal to me.
Okay. And Zandila, would you agree with the target market that has been described by Chantal and Talia in terms of who this ad is targeting? Or is there another segment that you have in mind for this ad?
I completely agree with them because, like, from people who are in between the age of 25 and 30, we don't have time to cook. What is this? Porridge. We basically grab muesli or just cocoa pops and just put the milk and just give the kid, because we don't have time to do things that are actually taking time. So it's, yeah, I totally agree to both of them.
Okay. And Zoe, if I to come to you and I say, sometimes you can see an ad and it has very little impact because there's nothing wow about it. In terms of the impact of this ad, do you think that this ad has enough in the message and the ad that would make you want to speak to someone else about the ad, Zoe? Or would it be just
Um,
by the by?
as a young person, I feel that it would make me want to tell my friend that did you see the ad, or because I think we take it for granted the fact that eating and being full and what you put in your body, like we're not taking that into consideration fully. So I feel like this is an eye opener, and the way it's being portrayed is also an eye opener. Also, where you could go back and say, but did you see this ad? It's gonna have it on the tongue, and everybody's gonna speak about it. It's not something that's just gonna die down, because it's gonna awaken people that's been taking the easy way out, and like it doesn't impact now, it impacts later on as well in your life as you get older and become unfit and unhealthy and so forth.
Okay. So and sweetness to the same point. Does this ad have an impact? Would this ad make you speak to anyone about it, about the message and about the ad? And who do you think you'd be speaking to share this message of the ad?
I think most especially on our ages, like the age 25, because it also shows that eating unhealthy food can lead to high risk of obesity. You understand, and it also leads to chronic illnesses. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And
Yeah, not the old woman has
okay. And for you, Talia, do you think this ad would
listening.
make any impact in terms of wanting to speak to others about the message of the ad?
I think that I'd probably enjoy talking to my friends about the idea of having to make corporations put warning labels on their products. I think that I probably talk less about more about how it's like protecting the consumer than like the health benefits of it. Just because it seems like more of a something corporations shouldn't be allowed to lie to you rather than cereal is bad for your health.
Yeah. Okay. And to that point, Talia, if I can ask you again, sometimes you see an ad and it just reaffirms what we already know. And sometimes you see an ad and it's got new information that it actually gives you that you didn't know. On the point of whether this is new information or just reaffirmment of things we know, how would you describe this ad in terms of its execution and message? Is this something you already know, or is this new information?
I think everyone kind of knows that most like pre-packaged food isn't like it isn't healthy for you. Like you can see it, you like if you read the back and you read the ingredients, you can automatically see. But it comes to the point where it's like, why it doesn't really, why bother checking the back if you're on your way to buy food. You know, it's like why bother reading the back? But if there was a specific label, I think that would go a long way in proving to people that things are like making people aware.
Okay.
Even
Okay.
though they're already aware.
Okay.
Making them more
Chantal,
aware.
for you, is this reaffirmation of something known or new information?
I think it is reaffirming. It does reaffirm things that we do already know. I just think sometimes people have the mindset that it hasn't affected me yet, so I'm good to go. So I'm going to keep buying it. But I think a lot of people do know, like Dalia said, that pre-packed food, convenient food, quick and easies do contain a lot of sugar, a lot of salt and things like that. But yeah, I just think it's really the mindset that some of us have that as long as I don't have diabetes, I don't have hypertension, it's I'm good to go. So people are just gonna kind of go for it. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Zandile, for you, is this new information or reaffirming?
No, it's not. No, it's not new information, but I've never took this in consideration because it doesn't affect me. I can eat anything. I don't gain weight, so I never took this serious.
Lucky you.
To be quite honest.
Yeah, you have to, at the end of the group, Zandile, you'll have to share the secret. Is it in
Oh,
the
you
gene
must.
I'm just tiny. That's just my nature.
It's good genes.
Okay. So the one thing, Zoe, if I come to you and I say to you, you've seen this ad. Is this the ad that again not just makes an impact where we're willing to speak about the message, but does this ad impact our attitude and behavior of purchase towards unhealthy foods and sugary drinks? So today we've seen this ad. Do we tomorrow not buy, or does it change the way we buy these products and in the stores after seeing an ad like this, Zoe?
Okay, so I think that has a lot to do with the mindset of us as a generation and as the people. Because seeing the ad is one thing and taking note of the ad is one thing, but keeping out to it is another thing, and it's a totally different thing. For example, when lockdown started, we didn't have access to takeaways, and everybody said that they wouldn't, like, we could see we could live without takeaways. We didn't need the KFC or the McDonald's or anything. But the moment things started getting back to normal, people gradually also got back into the groove of, you know what, let's just grab McDonald's. And I think it also has a lot to do because during lockdown, you at home, not you're free, but you have a lot of time to do what you need to do and making the food, prepping everything. But when it gets back to the hustle and like what you're doing during the day and your time and how it's set out, that becomes again the easy way out. And that's why a lot of people and diets fail, because at the end of the day, this is not working for me, or it's taking too much effort. And yeah, I feel like.
Okay, okay. Sweetness, for you, does this ad change your behavior in buying unhealthy foods tomorrow or the next day or the next day or the next day? Or do you think it's an ad that, like Zoe said, you might walk in the store, feel a little bit guilty tomorrow and you want to buy it, but a few days later you're back in the groove, back in the swing of things, and life carries on. So Sweetness, what does this ad do for you?
No, I think the ad taught me a lot. So because I was just buying when I go to shopping. I was not even look at the box if maybe it's healthy or unhealthy. So now this ad taught me a lot. So now I'll start looking when I'm doing shopping.
Okay, okay. Zandile, for you, change behavior, does it make an impact? Or like you say, I'm tiny, I stay tiny, doesn't really make a difference. So we're still gonna buy what we buy. What happens?
For me, it's not gonna change. I won't lie, but for my aunt's sake, like for example, I'm just gonna make an example by my aunt because she has a chronic disease. I'd suggest that she stop buying certain things for health's sake. But for me, I won't change. But for as long as at least I'm being cautious, I'm being taught certain things to be cautious about when it comes to buying fast food or something. But for other people, I would advise them to put your health first, other than buying something, then it affects you later.
Okay, Chantal, for you, the impact of an ad to buying behavior?
Yeah, I think I'm one of those where I kind of take note of the ad and it would hit me and I'd be like, okay, tomorrow we're going to start, and we go to the shop and then we in the shop and we buy everything, and then sometimes it maybe gets to a point of I don't actually know what I'm looking at, so what is considered healthy and how, and then these labels, some of the labels, you get these boxes with labels, but maybe I don't know what I'm reading. I don't understand what's on there. So, but because it says it's low GI or whole wheat, I'm going to take it, and whatever the label says, the label says. So, so yeah, I think it's also that self-education after a advert. So it's going to hit me, it's going to resonate, it's going to sit here, and I'm going to feel guilty, and I'm going to go to the shop and try to be better, do better, and then it's just kind of educating myself after that. But whether I'm going to stay on it, that's another story. Follow that lifestyle, it is another story. But yeah, it for me, something will click up. Yeah, that something needs to change. Yeah.
Okay, Talia, you want to add in a way in the
Yeah, I think that I probably make a point of it to start looking at the back of packaging. But once you start looking and start understanding what you're seeing, it becomes so overwhelming because everything is full of bad things. And like none of it is good. You can't buy anything without there being like MSG and sugar and salt, and then it becomes overwhelming, and then it's like, well, I'm not gonna, if I don't look at it that it doesn't exist, then I don't need to think about it ever again.
Okay, and you guys raise a very interesting point that I just want to deviate a bit and follow you on that discussion. And with a show of hands, first of all, with a show of hands, I just want to see something. How many of you currently, in going to the stores, actually pick up a product and turn it around and read what is inside the product itself? So I need a show of hands as to who's currently doing it. Okay, Talia,
That's
you
like
doing
two things count.
two things count.
Just look for two.
Okay, so I want to ask the two that look for something. Talia, what do you look for when doing it, and why did you? What motivated you to start doing that in terms of a behavior?
So I am insulin resistant because I have polycystic ovarian syndrome. And it means that I'm not supposed to eat sugar, so I have to cut down on sugar in my daily life. So I started looking because of that. I was like, oh well, I have to see whether I'm buying has sugar in it, which of course everything does. So I'm mostly looking at sugar, and then I also look at all the the chemicals, like the preservatives and stuff like that. I bought juice that had so many preservatives in it, but also said you had to drink it within 1 day, and it was 2 liters of juice. And that's a bit confusing. It's like, why so many preservatives? They're not doing anything. They're not preserving. So then why are they there?
Okay.
So,
Okay. And Chantal, for you, what was the driver, or what is the driver on the two occasions that or the two things you look for? What are you looking for?
So you do see some ads where you realize, okay, maybe I need to do a change of life, and maybe start watching the calorie intake. So like protein and carb content in something is always something that I look for, because I tend for something with a higher protein than carb, but also calories. What the calorie is like a kilojoules or kilocal at the back. So that is kind of something that I look at per serving. And that is what I would in a product. And it was really just to start looking at like my calorie intake and what I am trying to put in the body, or the sugar and things like that. So yeah, just really those 2-3 things maybe that I do look at the back of a box.
Okay.
Also looking at the serving sizes, like looking at what are recommended serving sizes. So I know like with Oreos, the recommended serving size is 2 Oreos, but I don't know anyone who eats two Oreos out of a packet.
Okay.
Nobody.
So earlier on, we spoke about the whole thing about our choices, about how we choose foods, right? And I just want to explore that just for a second. You know, two things were mentioned that came out very strong, and I just want to see if there are others. There was the whole issue of convenience, quick lifestyle, quick to prepare. I get, you know, we buy these, we're drawn to fast food. Because the reality of it is that if we say that this ad is reaffirming what we know, and there's no new information, it then implies that we know these things about unhealthy foods and sugary drinks, but there must be something that perpetuates and that kind of like is a factor that perpetuates our lifestyle and behavior to be this. And I'm trying to just understand, besides the convenience, what are the other things that becomes the challenge for people to make that health choices and healthy lifestyle living and things like that in our lives and in our peers, that we can just put as addition to the list of things that influence that continuous behavior of bad eating and things like that. Chantal, if I start with you, is there any thoughts that you have?
I think with the healthier options, the unfortunate part is that they do come at a price. To buy olive oil over fish oil or canola oil over fish oil, it's a lot of money. To buy, I don't know, butter instead of margarine or 75% less fat butter, it costs a lot. So I think people just tend towards what, and I think, okay, finance may be one of the big things that also came other than convenience out earlier, but healthier eating is a bit more expensive. People cannot uphold that lifestyle. I speak from a personal point of view as well. It's hard to buy ripe and ready avocados as opposed to waiting 2 weeks for, you know, normal hard avocados to get soft, or just as a very you know, stupid example, but it is expensive and it's not always something that can be continued long term. Yeah, I just think they don't. The shops just don't make it easier for you to buy healthier options always, or to maintain a healthy lifestyle. Yeah, that's just
okay. Zandile, for you, and then I'm going to come to Talia after Zandile. So Zandile, for you, do you have any additional thoughts as to what could be causing people to find themselves entrapped in this behavior of buying unhealthy foods and sugary drinks? We spoke about the finance side of it, the expense to that kind of lifestyle. We've addressed the issue of convenience. Do you find that there's maybe another reason that we can also list?
Okay, it's inconsistency. We're not inconsistent when it comes to such things. I think we also need to be motivated, like to have a mentor or someone who is actually doing the same thing, that you both of you will throw something like a draft. What are you gonna do this day and what are you gonna do tomorrow? But we end up being like hypocrites. You cheat, you take a diet today and then tomorrow you choose to buy chips or whatever. So it's inconsistency for me, I think. Yeah.
Okay. Talia, for you wanted to come in there?
Yeah, just on the discussion of price, and the fact that I've had to switch from putting like sugar in my tea to putting xylitol in my tea, and the xylitol for the same amount, so the sugar is like 18 rand for 500 grams, and the xylitol is 120 rand. And that, like, price wise, that really sucks, because then while I know I should be not adding sugar, I'm like, well, it's 100 rand difference. That's very expensive to have to make your own food and also like find alternatives that are ethical or good for you.
Okay, so that cost factor is definitely another influencer that one needs to contend with. On the issue of government, now government as part of their responsibility to its consumers, obviously has a drive of wanting to increase warning labels so that people are making informed decisions and things like that. Would an ad like this kind of like increase your willingness to support government in the effort of, let's say they say, we want our consumers to South Africans to sign a petition, to retweet messages, to keep the message of, you know, kind of like a buzz, top of mind of healthy eating and being aware of what you put in your body. Do you think an ad like this will help you, will want to motivate you to support government in these initiatives? Sweetness, would you be encouraged to support government in these initiatives to educate people about what goes into their bodies?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So you would, Zandile?
Right, Danny?
Yeah, no, I hear you. You said yes. I'm saying Zandile, for you,
Yes,
is this an effective ad that could help, you know, support government initiatives?
Definitely, definitely.
Okay, okay. So, is that for the rest of you as well to say there is enough in this campaign, there is enough in this ad that would make you want to be supportive of government's initiatives in this regard?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I personally think that the ad could probably have more like action-based wording then.
Okay.
So more like take the survey or share this advert or etc. So there's more of a like, do this thing and then you can be healthy, as opposed to just these are the facts and people are sad.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Claudia, for you, you're saying what you would have wanted out of this ad is a call to action.
Yeah.
Is having something that anchors what people must do as a consequence of seeing this ad, or as a next step to seeing this ad. And yes, you can have a good message, but then it's still, you feel it remains just a message. But when you say retweet, reshare, sign a petition, log on, go to Facebook, or that calls more for something to happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely need something more actiony, more because makes you, at the end of it, you go, okay, well, what am I supposed to do about that?
Okay. And maybe another way to ask you the question is, do you believe that there's a need for better labeling of foods?
Yes.
Yes.
Definitely.
Okay. Why do you say that? What's behind the yes? And you know, for those, Zoe, you said yes. Talia, you said yes. Chantal said yes. Zoe, let me start with you. What's behind the yes?
So I feel like everybody goes for things that's attractive to the eye. So there's a saying that says, you eat with your eyes. And I feel like if packaging changes to something that's gonna throw your eye on, you know, zero sugar or there's this low GI, it's something that people's going to look at when they're buying or purchasing the product. It will be the labels, because that's what you see first before you actually take the product. So you're not going to take a loaf of bread if it comes in a clear wrapping over a loaf of bread that has the name, the low GI, the amount of slices in the zip seal, all those things. So I think it starts with packaging. Any product starts with packaging. I mean,
Okay. Talia, for you, that thought behind the yes?
I think that it's easy to forget, as I said before, what's in your food and what's not good for you. And I think having those things, is you can make a more informed decision automatically without having to do the work. So you could say, if you're looking at two types of flour and the one type of flour says there's a high sugar content, the other one doesn't, you can know, okay, well, I'm paying 2 more rand, but I don't have as much sugar in, and that would be worth it. And it's like a quicker decision rather than having to do your own research.
Okay. Sweetness, can I just ask you, is it possible for you to keep your camera still? Is it possible to keep the camera still? Your phone, to keep your phone still, because it's moving the whole time like this. Okay, thank you very much. So the other question that I have is, an ad like this, does it make you have do you have any thoughts or kind of opinions towards the companies that are producing these unhealthy foods and sugary drinks? Zandile, what does an ad like this do towards your thoughts to companies who now would be classified as producing these unhealthy foods and sugary drinks?
Could you please repeat your question because I can't hear you properly?
I'm saying an ad like this, does it do anything towards your thoughts towards the companies who are producing these products, these unhealthy foods and sugary drinks? Does it make you think of them in any way, more or less, if you see an ad like this, and it makes you more aware of companies who don't do proper labeling or things like that?
I think that ad does, like, it completely gives us more information, because while the guy is sitting in front of the packaging, that box, I'm gonna say maybe it's Cocoa Pops or something, there's also a TV ad behind him that just that gives an information about what are they actually trying to give people. So from my own perspective, I think it is informative, I think.
Okay.
So for other companies,
But what I'm asking is, does the ad make you think any different towards the companies who are producing these foods? So it's like, if you see a car ad and you see BMW, you
yes.
think about BMW as a company? So this ad, does it do anything for your thoughts towards companies who are producing these unhealthy foods and sugary drinks in any way?
No.
Okay. Chantal, for you, is there any thought that comes about?
I think my initial thoughts, and I think it's something that the guy says in the ad as well, is what exactly are they hiding, and how is it okay for these companies to be producing these goods with high sugary contents, knowing that cereal is something that kids love, say, for instance. So if we know there's an increase in obesity in kids, why are we allowing companies then to produce things with such a high sodium content or sugar content or whatever content? So that it does provoke that thought, when it kind of ripples onto wanting to kind of get behind those things and get behind government and get behind, the people to make sure that, there are changes made or that there's more conscious decisions made. So yeah, there's that mind, you start asking questions about the companies that are making these things, or at least it provoked that thought within me.
Okay. And any other thoughts from anyone that they would like to raise on this aspect? Talia, for you?
I think that it does make me think about whether I should trust the companies, because they're not thinking about their consumers' safety, and that's not their priority.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's right to be selling things to kids who are like at risk of obesity, without like considering the health risks to the population.
Okay. So for you, Talia, it's about revenue over health, or it's kind of like there's another aspect that's driving these businesses to continue what they do, because there's a revenue element to it as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So if we look at the ad in its holistic sense, everything that happens in the ad, did you find anything that, because remember, we're going to play this ad is going to be played on TV, different people watch it, but race groups, cultural groups, age groups, gender groups, did you find anything offensive or inappropriate that was displayed in this ad in any way? Okay. Yes, Chantal.
I won't say offensive, but the last word that he says, it it's not in my language. So I didn't know what that meant. And I wanted to stop to ask what something, that one. There we go, Zandile. I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know if it was relevant. I didn't know if it was him expressing his irritation or if it was just, so I just didn't know what that was. It wasn't interpreted for me. So I was just like, okay, what does he mean with that word? Maybe someone can.
Okay. I'm going to come back and then I'll ask Randile later on at a point to tell us what the word means. But I'm gonna come back to your point, Chantel. I want to then ask if there was nothing inappropriate in the ad, relatively nothing inappropriate. What were the scenes that stood out to you that made the ad memorable or was positive? Zoe, what scene in that ad, if you think about it now, is the one thing that stands out that you recall?
I would say the way it was like the way it was like the ad wasn't rushed, if I can put it in that sense. So it was detailed and it was done slowly at the right pace, and it wasn't just like we're doing the advert. You could sit, you could think, you could take in what is being said. So you didn't feel like this is just another ad break where they're selling me a car or they're selling me a new deal. The way it was portrayed is like you actually need to sit and think about what we're putting into our bodies and like what these companies are doing and how it's not on the labels. So the pace, it's giving you time to actually, to let it sink in. This is what's happening. This is what it's about. This is what the companies are doing. What are you going to do about it? So, yeah.
Okay. Sweetness for you, was there any scene in the ad or anything in the ad that was positive that you liked?
Yes, there is something that was positive that I liked. I like the time that the guy, he opened the time that he was eating the porridge, he opened the book or the newspaper, and just there was something that is written there, like how dangerous it's unhealthy food or whatever.
Okay, so you saying the scene where he opens the newspaper, there's a title and write-up of the newspaper, that grabs your attention, that's what you like. Chantal, for you, anything specific in the ad?
I think there was two that stood out for me that I quite liked was the cut to the television where there was the protesting, not the protesting, but I mean the people standing, and then the cut to the newspaper where there was the indication of the diabetes and the increase in diabetes and heart disease and things like that. So I thought that was outstanding. It gave you the message that needs to be done about it between the newspaper and the TV.
Okay, Talia, for you, similar or different scenes?
Similar things visually. I also think that I liked the conversational tone of it, where it was more like, why are we letting this happen, rather than like being like accusatory, which I quite enjoyed. I think it makes it more relatable and more relevant to like the general population.
Okay, okay. So now, guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share the screen because I want us to look at a logo, and in this logo, which brings me to Chantal's point of earlier. Can you see the concept for Sifunekwazi on the screen?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I want to ask is, Chantal, you now said you watched an English ad that has a vernacular word in it. And this vernacular word is actually the slogan of the ad. Now, one of the things that I want to ask you, just and I'll go through the list of people, is that if you see an English ad and a word that you do not understand, what does it do to you in the actual enjoyment of the ad? Do you switch off, or is it a situation of, if the message is still strong, there is this word, I'll go find out. I'll ask a friend, I'll ask a neighbor, I'll Google it, I'll search to find out what does this word mean, because I love the ad, and the message is strong, but now there's this vernacular word? Or is it a situation of, I don't know what this word is, so maybe it's not for me, maybe it's talking to a different cultural group, a different profile of person, because I do not understand what Sifunekwazi means.
Mm.
How would you answer there, Chantal?
I think when I read when I was watching the advert, I was happy that the advert happened first and then that word came in at the end, because I'm just that person. If I see this word firstly, I'm going to try to pronounce it. So I'm going to look at this word and forget everything else. I'm not going to take note of anything else. So if this word had to come up first on that ad, I'd be so stuck on this word and trying to figure out how to pronounce it. What does it mean? What is it relevant? What is its relevance? And then I might miss half of the advert. So I'm very happy that this word was at the end. If I must see it on an advert, on a like a poster, I don't know. I might just look at it and be like, okay, I don't understand it, so I'm not going to bother looking further down. It's not for me. It's for someone that understands it. Or it might just not register at all if I see that on a poster somewhere and not quite, not bother looking at or registering what's underneath it. But yeah, I'm just that person. I'd be so fixated on that word and trying to understand it or make sense of it or try to pronounce it or find its origin that I'd probably miss everything else in the ad. So yeah.
Okay, so Talia, for you, what to the same question that I basically asked Chantel, how do you relate to these, how did you relate to this ad, seeing a word you didn't understand, if you didn't understand it, and what does that do for you in the enjoyment of an ad?
Well, I for one actually didn't even notice the word at the end of the ad. It didn't register at all, which I think is mostly just because I went, I don't know what that word is, so never mind.
Okay.
I do think that if it was, as Chantal said, like if it was a paper advert, or just a picture, I would probably also just skip over it. But I think like in the context of the advert, I can assume that the word has got something to do with being healthy or labels or something.
Okay, we're gonna come back to that. I just want to get Zoe's view. Zoe's view, then we're gonna speak to Zandile and Sweetness and carry on. Zoe, the same question relating to an ad where one word is there, but you don't understand it.
I'm going to have to agree with Chantal and Talia because it doesn't register, and I would also just assume that the word is in relation to what is being said in the advert
Okay.
because you won't put a random word in the advert.
Okay, so Zandile, take us to the journey of education, of it translating to us, what does Sifunekwazi mean?
It's a word that describes how do I put this? We want to know. We are intrusive. We are curious. What is it?
Yeah.
So it's like we want to know.
Yeah.
Sifuna ukwazi.
Sifunekwazi. So yeah,
We want to know. We want to know more.
We want to know more. We want to know what's in the food. So the word Sifunekwazi is that emphasis of saying we want to know. Now, in Chantal, Talia, and Sweetness, and is this a slogan that you would regard as thought-provoking, attention-grabbing? Does it fit? Does it resonate now that you know what it means? Or, what would your reaction be to it now that you know? Chantal, if I start with you.
Yeah, now that I know, I mean, I like it now. The exclamation mark kind of just makes it stand out. The fact that we want to know, it all fits in nicely. And I think it's appropriate. I do, yeah, it makes sense.
Talia, for you?
I mean, the word itself does make sense. I probably wouldn't have assumed that's what it meant. Judging by the fact that I didn't know the word. But I think that it'd be one of those things that once I was exposed to it enough times, I would just go, oh, like I know what that means because I've seen it enough times in the campaign and discussed it with my friends and seen more images about it and that kind of.
But and now that you know what it means, do you think it will have the attention grabbing and it tells a story? I mean, it's a word that has got context. Does it add to the not the gravity of the campaign, but it's something that is attention grabbing?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Okay. And then Zoe, for you?
Now that I know what the word means, I feel like it fits perfectly in the ad, and it brings across the message that was being brought across in the ad. But then you also have to think, like, there is people the word is not going to register at all. So yeah,
Okay.
I just feel like I know now, but because I know it fits, but to the next person that's not going to register the word. And who's not going to do research on the word, it's still going to be like a blank and a question mark when they see the word in the ad.
Do you think they should have Sifunekwazi and in brackets the English words written then if they wanted to kind of land it much easier?
Yeah, I think that would work because I feel it's like most people, like the word doesn't register, so you're not going to do the extra effort of wanting to know. So with that being, it's like you're giving the answer really to the person of we want to know. And
Okay.
then
Zandile, how do you feel about that recommendation? What do you think of Sifunekwazi as you gave us the meaning of it, but like, what do you think of it as a slogan for this campaign?
For me, I think it's quite offensive because we need to be aware that there are people who are watching television that are different races, so they need to understand. So they should use a language that everyone understands, like English. So they should have used a caption saying hashtag we wanna know,
Okay.
so that people would understand more of the word.
Okay, okay. So guys, that's the format, ladies, that's the format that we go through for this part. We've concluded the first ad. The second part will go slightly quicker, I believe, because we now know what is the procedure of how we're going to do it. We would like to expose you to a second concept idea that the client also has for bringing a message across. So if I'm able to, I will please share my screen. Again, we will do the test ad. I will show you the ad twice. Please just give me an acknowledgement that you can see the ad on your side. You can see the ad on your side.
Yes.
Okay.
yes.
I'm gonna play it for you twice now.
I know that breakfast is the most important meal of our day. I know little Temba and I share strawberry yogurt as our favorite snack. I know that a quick lunch gives me the boost I need to keep going. I also know Felicity might decide to pop in at any time and we can enjoy a cool drink at the end of our meal. But if we'd been told how much sugar, salt, and saturated fat was in our food and how sick I could get, I could have made better choices. Demand warning labels on unhealthy packaged food.
I'm gonna play it for you again.
I know that breakfast is the most important meal of our day. I know little Temba and I share strawberry yogurt as our favorite snack. I know that a quick lunch gives me the boost I need to keep going. I also know Felicity might decide to pop in at any time and we can enjoy a cool drink at the end of our meal. But if we'd been told how much sugar, salt, and saturated fat was in our food and how sick I could get, I could have made better choices. Demand warning labels on unhealthy packaged food.
Okay. Like we did the first time, I'm going to stop the ad and then put up the 12-question poll for our second ad. So you should see the questions on your screen right now. Please proceed by starting the survey. Again, the same 12 questions. Is it easy to understand? Is it believable? Is it relevant to you? Did it teach you something new? Did it make you to stop and think? Is it likely that you would speak to someone about it? Did it make you motivate? Would this ad make you motivated to speak, to have less unhealthy foods and sugary drinks? Question 7. Will it increase your support for warning labels on the front of food and drinks packages that identify when that food and drink is unhealthy? Will it motivate you to seek more information about what is in the food you eat? And will it increase your support for government's actions to reduce the consumption of unhealthy foods and sugary drinks in South Africa? Thank you, Talia. Thank you, Zoe.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Zandile. Chantal, you done? Thanks, Chantal. Sweetness, please just let me know when you are done. You done, Sweetness?
Yes, Danny.
Okay. I'll put up the last 2 questions. So question 11, will this motivate you to take action such as signing a petition or sharing a message on social media to call on government to require companies to display clear front of package warning on unhealthy foods? And question 12, is this an effective ad on the front of package labeling on the harms of sugary drinks and unhealthy foods? Once you are done, thanks, Talia. Thanks, Chantal. Thanks, Zandile. Thank you, Sweetness. Thanks, Zoe.
You're welcome.
Okay, so guys, as part of our discussion, again, if you have to think of a word or two, if I start with you, Talia, to describe this ad that you've seen, what would you say for this ad?
Dramatic.
Dramatic.
Yeah. If I couldn't figure out what the lady, was she dying on the floor? Was she having a heart attack? I couldn't really understand what she was doing there. And I guess thought-provoking, because I did think about what's happening with that lady.
Okay, so thought-provoking and dramatic. Chantal, what would your words be?
Yeah, I was going to go with dramatic as well, that poor woman. So yeah, that woman definitely captures because you realize the foods that she's showing on the phone or the foods being, it's yogurt, it's bread, it's cheese, it's cool drink, it's something that is so often in your house all the time, and then here this woman is busy dying like after the next scene. So yeah, it was a bit dramatic. And it does kind of make you go, okay, but these are the things that I'm eating. So yeah, okay, I agree with Talia, thought-provoking and dramatic.
Okay, Zoe, for you, a word that comes to mind?
Can I just get a moment to process the ad still, please?
Okay, no problem. Shandile.
Or for me, I'd say curious, because it makes me wonder what made that woman to fall into the ground, because I eat those things. It does nothing. So
That's good genes, Handile. You've got good genes, really.
Okay. And Sweetness, for you, a word or two to describe the ad?
No, I think, Danny, the word that is unokwazi, that popped in on that ad. Because the woman that is lying down, he didn't know what is eating on the food. He was eating everything. He didn't care.
So
I
you're
don't
saying
know.
the woman should have known.
Yes, we'll look on the package of something that he eats. I don't know.
Okay. Zoe, have you got a word yet?
I'm also gonna go with curious, but curious in the sense of where's this leading to, and in the
Okay.
woman that was dramatic.
Okay. So Zoe, still coming to you then. And following up on what you're now saying, if you had to describe what is the main message in the ad, what would you say that main message is of this ad?
That if we continue consuming what we are without any warning, we're gonna deteriorate faster. Because watching the ad, there's no headline, there's no watermark to what the ad is about. So you're sitting there, you're curious, you're like they explaining normal day-to-day things that happen. I mean, eating breakfast, drinking Coke with supper, that is things that happens on a daily basis. So to you, it's like, where's this going? And in the lady, that was dramatic. So,
Okay.
yeah, no, it's me.
Okay. Okay. Sorry about that. Talia, for you, the main message that you take out of the ad.
So obviously like eating all the foods that we eat every day, we don't think about the effect it has on our health. And that's why the lady is struggling at the end. Although I do think that there could be more of a like idea of what's happening, like maybe like paramedics or an ambulance or something. Or I'm having a heart attack. I don't know. But just like that, you need to be aware of what's in your food and that you don't normally know what's in your food. It's not something that you don't think about. Everything is just a normal day thing.
Okay. Chantal, for you, the main message?
Yeah, it's the same. I suppose bad food kills almost the way that Ed was going. So yeah, like I feel like there should be a progression in the ad though. Like we start off with bad food and then maybe we get some chest pain and then we fall to the floor, not immediately have Coke and then so like a progression to it, some high blood pressure, like a thing of, I don't know, a meter showing your blood pressure, I don't know. But yeah, definitely there needs to be a progression, but I think the message is very clear. You know, bad food choices, no high sugar, high salt, you're gonna end up with heart disease or something.
Okay. And then Sandile, on that, if you think about what is the main message and who is this ad intended for, what would you say?
The message to this aid, for me and my understanding, it's we need to digest food clearly and not jump. Like if I ate something in the morning, I need to eat in the afternoon at about 2, and then later I need to eat at about 8, and that we should be aware of fizzy drinks. So this is related to my aunt because she loves Coke too much.
Okay. So that target market that you described, if you just gave me just a bit more detail, who would you describe that target market as? You are not saying your aunt because she has a underlying condition, but who else? Is there anyone else that you think this ad is specifically targeting?
My sister too, because she has a problem with ulcers, ne? And she doesn't like she avoids the fact she shouldn't eat anything that has to do with cheese and milk.
Okay, okay. Zoe, for you, the key message of the ad and who's it in, I mean, not the key message, who's it intended for? Who's the target market?
I think it's going to, in general, the target market would obviously be to everyone that is consuming unhealthy foods. But I feel like it would also be intended to young people because we take so much things for granted, like drinking and like fizzy drinks, like anything above water and cucumber sticks and celery sticks. So I feel like it should be intended to us because we don't see it now. Like, we're not suffering with the consequences now, but it will catch up to us later. And when it eventually does, it'll be too late, because by the time you get diabetes and cholesterol and high blood pressure and all of that, it's this, once you're there, you're there. There's no turning back. This, you can do healthy choices then, but the impact of starting now won't be the same.
Natalia, for you, the target market of this ad?
I think, I mean, the target market is pretty broad because it's everyone who eats pre-packaged food, or anyone who like eats food, really. So I can't think of like any specific target, although with the woman's voice and her spending time with her daughter, that kind of thing does bring like an awareness towards like a focus on women. Yeah.
Okay. And Chantal, if I had to ask you, again, on the issue of new information versus a confirmation, where would you say this ad lands?
Again, I don't think it's new information. It's maybe just reiterating it with a little bit of drama to maybe stress to really stress the point. So again, I think it's more of a reaffirming as opposed to new information.
Okay. Would everybody have a different view? Does everybody agree with what Chantal is saying, that it's more reaffirming of things we know in this ad?
I agree.
Okay, agreement there. And I think that, again, on the question of, does the ad have enough impact for conversation? Do you think this ad would make you want to speak to family members, friends about the message and this ad after seeing it on television? Zoe, for you, would this be something that you would talk about?
I mean, it's definitely something that I would want to speak about, or maybe not in the moment that the ad is playing, but when a friend of mine would take out something that I know is or has a lot of sugar in, I would be like, do you know that this is what, or have you checked the label? So it's not something that will register immediately where I would want to pick up my phone and message somebody and say, did you see the new ad that's out? But in the heat of the moment, when we're eating unhealthy, or when somebody is given the option to do unhealthy foods, it would be like, but did you know that we need to check the labels, or this is what's in the product, or this is what's being hidden in the product, and then it would come about in conversation.
Sweetness, for you, would you share the same sentiment as Zoe? Is this an ad that you would speak to people about, or is it more just creating the awareness that you can then, when the time comes up, you can discuss with others? Sweetness?
Stephanie?
I'm asking, is this an ad that will have an impact on you having conversations with others about it?
Yes, Danny, more special, my friend. My friend has a chronic illness like diabetic. She's diabetic and she doesn't follow the instruction of the food that she's eating. She's just eating everything.
Okay, so you would want to help and create that awareness. And also again, in terms of, would this ad have a stronger or lesser impact in terms of when we look at our changed behavior and how we go to buy food? Talia, if you walked into the store, does this ad make you feel any more, and I'm going to use the word, let me use the word, for lack of a better word now, guilty or aware? Does this ad make you more aware about being conscious of unhealthy foods and sugary drinks in terms of buying? So does it change your buying patterns and the types of food that you would select?
I definitely think that it'll make me think more about why we don't have labels on our food. Like the labels that we should have with the high sugar content and stuff like that. But I don't think I'm I might go, when I'm in the shop, go, this has a lot of sugar in it, it should have a label about it. But I don't think that it'll stop me from buying it.
Okay. Chantal, for you, the impact of this ad in terms of buying behavior?
I think I'm just going to link it back to my previous comment where I said that everything in that ad looked like everything that I buy on an everyday basis. You know, the white bread, the strawberry, you know, the yogurt, the fizzy drinks. So I'm going to be, because that looked so much like home, I'll probably be a bit more conscious about going to the shops and maybe just making a better choice. It might trigger a thought as I'm reaching for the white bread and maybe let's try a brown bread. I don't know. That might just be something that it triggers in my mind. So yeah, I think that for me might be where the switch might come about for me.
Just another thought now on just something that came up. It's like, so if we see signs on, and I'm talking to the people who also don't read the labels on food, but how would we address the issue of education, and how could we create more awareness when someone turns around the package and on it says sodium 120 grams or potassium whatever or carbohydrates whatever. Do we understand even what all that means in terms of, even if it's on the label? So how are we gonna change the awareness and the education? What would we expect the labeling to be like in order to make it more easier for people to understand? Chantal, do you want to take a stab at this?
I'm just yeah, like I don't know. Like I would like to think a label should be easy for the layman to read. So if my 70-year-old father goes to the shop and he doesn't know what sodium is from potassium, he should be able to see there's high salt content in there, and there's high sugar in there. So I think it's just making it easy to read, as opposed to fine, have at the back of the product your sodium, potassium, and whatever else, your magnesiums and whatever else is at the back. But in front, maybe just go what is important: protein, carbs, sugar, salt. Just something that I, as a 70-year-old layman that maybe has a grade 7 only, can read and understand that, okay, this is high and I don't, and it's not good for me, so I'm not going to take it. So I think maybe, you know, companies should look at an easier to understand, or at least, you know, whether it's putting little boxes of, did you know sodium means salt at the back of the package? I don't know, but also educating so that, you know, across a range of boxes of noodles, I can see this box has sodium, this one has potassium, this is what this means, what is that? And then, so we educate the consumer as well. So I don't know, that's just me thinking.
Okay, so Zoe, you seem to agree with a lot what Chantal saying. Would you like to add anything to the thought?
I think she summed it up perfectly, because most people aren't educated, especially when it comes to the amount of salt we're allowed to take, the amount of sugar, and like earlier on, Sean said that she checked calorie intake. Most people don't do that. We're not educated enough to know that per your height, your BMI, this is the amount of calories that you can consume for a day or 24 hours. So I feel like once people are aware of that, it would make everything a bit more easier, and lifestyle choices will gradually become, in the sense of, why must I do white bread if I can do brown bread?
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay, so when we come back to the discussion of government support, do you guys believe that this campaign is effective in creating a willingness within yourselves to be supportive of government initiatives? If called upon for a call of action, like we discussed, earlier on, is it the same impact when it comes to the whole notion of government support? Talia, for you?
I think once again doesn't have as much call to action as there could be. So there's the hashtag what's in my food, but like there needs to be more of like a tweet your favorite company and ask what's in your food, or that kind of thing, like telling you what to do as a consumer. But I do think that it does draw attention to the fact that the government should be more involved in the protection of consumers.
Okay, okay. And then if we look at the offensiveness or inappropriateness of certain scenes in the ad, did we find that there was anything inappropriate or offensive that could offend a cultural group, a race, an age group, a gender group, anyone that would ultimately be exposed to this TV ad? Did we think that there was any offensive in this ad and that you'd like to highlight?
No.
I do think that
Talia?
Sorry, I do think that with the very dramatic woman on the floor, I think that could be handled a bit more subtly. I think if you're watching a movie with your kids and there's like a 5-year-old with you who sees someone just like dying on screen after eating some yogurt, I think that might be a bit of an issue.
Yeah.
Which is why I think there needs to be more like her in hospital on an EKG, or her being attended to by paramedics to know that she's not dead. She's just like there has been consequences to the food she's eaten.
Yes.
Okay. So just as a thought, do you think it would have been better if the scene was changed where the lady's maybe lying in a hospital bed and there's hospital machines next to her and there's a doctor taking her pulse, kind of thing? Do you think, Talia, that's still got impact, but it's just a cleaner impact?
Yeah, I think that it also like it brings awareness of the fact that like you're going to have to be in hospital. A lot of people don't like hospital, and the fact that like you can have an illness that needs to be fixed. I think that having her in hospital connected up to some machines and taking some tests would probably be a lot more effective than her just having a seizure on the floor.
Okay. And then in terms of the other ladies now, when we look at an ad that is most memorable, or not the ad, the scene that is most memorable or positive that you take out, which is that, Zandile, for you in that ad, which is the scene that caught your attention, drew you in, worked for you?
The actual part of the woman lying down on the floor.
Okay, so
Hear me?
that was something that you took out.
Yeah.
Zoe, for you, in terms of the ad?
I would say the setting of the table with breakfast and the yogurts are on the table, because it symbolizes that it's an everyday thing and that happens occasionally and not just a once-off.
Okay. Chantal, for you, the scene with the biggest impact was positive that you took from the ad?
I mean, nobody could miss the dramatic ending, but I think the fact that it was just so relevant to me, or very similar to my lifestyle at home, I think that is what kind of just stuck out for me. So yeah.
Okay. Sweetness, which scene in the ad do you recall as the one standing out and is most memorable?
It's also a lady that is lying down.
Okay, so you also picked that one. Okay, so if we again just share the screen and we look at the logo, can you guys all see Time to Know?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So don't worry about the picture. I want you to focus on the name, the logo, Time to Know. Talia, is this a attention-grabbing slogan to use for the campaign? Does it draw you in? Does it draw your attention?
I think so. I think it makes me think, well, time to know what. So it makes me want to stop and look at whatever is going on in the advert. Yeah.
Okay.
I would say it's good.
Zandile, for you, time to know.
For me, it's also right because it gives me the actual attention to understand what is it that is happening here and what is it that I need to know about this whole scene.
Okay, okay. Chantal, for you as a slogan for our campaign.
At the slogan itself, I think it's quite effective. Yeah, I'll leave it at that.
Zoe?
I think it's fitting. Yeah, with everything that's happening, I'm gonna go Chantal.
Okay. So, and sweetness for you, do you like this slogan? Do you think it works well for the campaign, for the ad, time to know?
Yes, Tenny, it's time to know what is happening.
Okay, and what we're eating. If I played further devil's advocate with putting the two next to each other, and we're looking at it now from just the slogan perspective, again, like I said, do not worry about the picture that's associated at the bottom of the creative, more just the slogan. Talia, for you, which is the stronger one that best fits with this whole objective of creating awareness about unhealthy eating and the labeling of food stuff, so people know what goes in their food? Which one of these two slogans works stronger for you?
I'm probably going to go with the time to know, the English one, just because that's my home language. But I mean, I am a minority. I think that maybe a combination of the two would be good. So Sifuna Kwazi, time to know would be probably be better, because then it tells me what Sifuna Kwazi means.
Okay. Zandile, for you, the two slogans, looking at them now, time to know, Sifuna Kwazi, pitching that together.
It's concept number 3 for me also.
Time to know.
Yes.
Okay, and why time to know for you? Just if you can give me some
okay.
context.
It gives us the question on our minds, what is it gonna take for us to understand whether you are gonna die or not if you don't do something that is right for your health.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Zoe, for you, between time to know, Sifuna Kwazi.
I think the mixture of both, like Talia said, because then it's like time to know, and you're also giving that perspective of we want to know, like stop keeping us in the dark. It's time. So I would say a mixture of both.
Okay. Sweetness, for you, the two against each other, next to each other, which one works effectively for you?
I think it's concept number 4, Sifuna Kwazi, Danny. Because we want to know what's in the food that we're eating.
We want to know what's in the food that we are eating. And then lastly, Chantal, for you, with the two.
I'm gonna go with Taylor and Zoe on this one. I like the combination of the two. Having both in the slogan. I feel like it's effective. It captures everybody, and it kind of makes a point of that we want to know. Irrespective, we want to know. Everybody wants to know. So yeah, I like the combination of the two.
And if I looked at and picked on you and said you have to choose one, which one would you go with?
You're not the death one, eh? I'm gonna go for concept 4. It just says enough. Dangerous ingredients in common food revealed. That man looks a bit aggro, so I'm good to go with him. Concept 3 is a bit too dramatic for my life.
Okay. No, thank you very much, guys. The last exercise that we're gonna do is again a poll, and this is basically the last. But what I need you to be cognizant of is that in your answer options, where you had a 5-point scale on the different things we did, this is a choice between. So I'll be asking a question, and your answer options is between concept 3 and concept 4. you actually see in the answer options that you've got concept 1, 2, 3, and 4. But remember, you didn't do 1 and you didn't do 2. So you now can only answer between 3 and 4 because other groups have done 1 and 2, 1 and 5, 1 and 3, 1 and 2 and 4. So they've done different combinations because we have 4 total concepts that we've taken through research. So please remember that you can only answer between your choices of 3 and 4. 3 and 4. So Funekwazi was the guy with the serial concept 4. A time to know, concept 3, the lady on the floor. That's the only way that I can make it memorable and for you to remember. So when I put up the poll and you are ready to start, please do so, because it basically just says, you know, one question is positive, the next is negative. So question 1 says, which one of the ads that you've seen would you most likely talk about with someone else? Is it concept 3, time to know, or is it concept 4, Sifunukwazi? Then question 2 says, which one will be the least likely for you to speak? So one is always positive and the other is always the inverse, the negative. Question 3 says, overall, which one of the ads would be most likely to increase your support for warning labels on the front of food and drinks packages that identify when that food and drink is unhealthy? Concept 3 or concept 4? Question 4 is the inverse. Which one is the least likely to increase your support for warning labels? Question 5, overall, which one of the ad would be most likely to increase your support for government action to reduce consumption of unhealthy foods? Inverse in question 6. And question 7 says, which one of the ads would be most likely to reduce you or your family's unhealthy foods and sugary drinks? And then question 8 is the inverse. Once everybody has completed this, please just let me know. Thank you, Talia. Zoe, thank you. Chantal, are you done?
I'm getting there.
Okay, no problem. Okay, thank you, Chantal. And then thank you, Zandile. And then just waiting on sweetness. Sweetness, you will just let me know when you are done. Have we lost Sweetness because she's not on the call? Let me just give her 1 second, if it's okay with you. I just want to see, does she reconnect? Otherwise, we're gonna have to end this here. Okay, guys, I'm gonna end it on my side. I just want to basically say to you, thank you very much, all of you, for your time this evening. Thank you for the 2 hours that we could spend, for your honest feedback. I'm very jealous because I think the sun is shining in Cape Town, right? And it's raining. It's raining in Pretoria, so I will just say that the weather is not so great at the moment here in Pretoria. It's been raining and a bit chilly, overcast. So enjoy the sunny weather. I hope that you all stay well. Thank you for your feedback. I just want to confirm with you that we have a small token of appreciation for your participation this evening. This will be deposited into the banking details or whatever means that you've indicated as to how you would like to receive your incentive. So if there are any problems, please don't hesitate to contact your recruiter or the office in regards if there are any administrative issues. But from my side, I just want to say thank you very much. It's been an absolute honor and pleasure to do this evening, and I wish you all the best.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you, Denny.
Bye-bye all.